Good morning to one and all. We warmly welcome to the third day session of WAIMS 2022. And the session is going to be on the title of AI Techniques for Cyber Security by Dr. M. Balamurugan. The session is going to be on the title of AI Techniques for Cyber Security by Dr. M. Balamurugan, Professor, Department of Computer Science, Chair, School of Computer Science, Engineering and Applications at Bharathidasan University. Sir has 26 years of teaching experience and 16 years of research experience. And Sir has guiding 5 PhD research scholars and earlier guided 10 scholars. And data science, cognitive science are the area of interest. And Sir has registered 2 patents, and Sir has completed ICMR funded project as well. And Sir has serving various positions like member, coordinator, convener, and director in charge at Bharathidasan University. Sir has more than 45 research publications in national and international journals. On behalf of the organizing committee, WAIMS 2022, we sincerely welcome you, sir, and the session is yours.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thanks for your nice introduction. Whether the slides are visible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, good morning, one and all. First of all, I wish to record my heartfelt thanks to the authorities of the university, in particular, organizer of this webinar, Dr. Professor Samavadi madam, for inviting me to give you a lecture on the topic of that is AI technique for cyber security. So this is that is cyber security, nothing but almost this is one of the that is a leading domain. Moreover, this particular domain need lot of techniques, a lot of things. It is waiting for the professionals in order to provide a very good security for the public. So today agenda, that is outline of today's presentation. Next 1.5 hours, I am going to speak about what is the need of the cyber security, and then what are the different types of attacks and threats with that is a summary, and then what are that is a web application security, and then how the AI, that is artificial intelligence, is a new trend for this cyber security, because cyber security is not a new one. But artificial intelligence is one of that is a new, that is a, even though which is talked about this concept in the year of 1950, but in the recent days now, because of the powerful processor, because of the technology, now almost we are having that is a very good artificial intelligence. So how this AI can be used for the secure the data items which are on the that is the internet. And then what's the role of AI in the cyber security, and then case by case discussion, that is how we can implement the AI in terms of mobile data, or in terms of that is a computer, or in terms of some other that is a devices which are connected on the internet. So this is the outline of the morning session. So the first question, that is what is the or what's the need of the cyber security? That is one latest report. India's digital payment market is expected to increase more than threefold from the current $3 billion to $10 trillion by almost 2026. So in order to meet out, in order to that is provide very good that is digital market, that is a cashless market, definitely we need much more technology or methodology in order to that is protect the even though that is e-cashless transactions. As a result of this particular unpredicted growth, digital payment, that is a non-cash, will constitute that is a 2 out of 3 payment transaction by 2026. So almost all the Indian firms last year is whooping of $176 million on an average in a financial year 21 to 22 due to that is a data breaches. A 25% increase from the that is $140 million in the case of financial year 2020, and up 6.6 from $165 million in the case of financial 2021, according to that is a new report. So these are the reason we have to focus, we have to give much more importance for the cyber security. So as per the that is NPCI, that is a UPI, that is a Unified Payment Interface, which crosses a 5 billion monthly transaction in the month of March 2022. If you take the last year, that is in the case of June 2021, it is 2.8 million. But in the case of March 2022, that is which increased very rapidly because of this pandemic period. Almost during this pandemic period, 2020 as well as 2021, almost that is a public or asked to go for only that is a cashless transaction, then nothing but there is a digital transaction. So definitely this will this particular growth steadily, that is a grow year by year, definitely. So this is one of that is a sample case, because almost today that is we are not using that is a cash in order for any that is a transaction. We are only that is a focus on that is only digital payment. So these are the reason we have to that is a focus on that is a cyber security. So already that is the audience, the participants may came across that is a different, personally they may came across or they may suffered this type of that is a cyber security threats, like that is a different type of malware, that is it may be viruses or worms or trojan or that is a ransomware, that is a past that is 2 years back, almost every big giant that is IT companies or IT related companies, they suffered much more from this particular that is a malware, and then that is a botnets or adware, spyware, rootkits, files malware. These are some of that is a different kind of that is a different types of the cyber security threats. Still we are facing knowingly without knowingly. But that is the computer technology people. Then we have to that is provide a very good mechanism in order to avoid, that is in order to that is protect the public money from this type of malware. So in general, that is as per that is a open web application security project. That is one of the open source project agency. That is they listed some common web app vulnerabilities. The first thing is that is injection. So in general, that is injection happened when that is a bad sector sends invalid data to the web app to make it that is operated differently from that is intended purpose of the application. This will happen more frequently. That is the participants who are attend this particular webinar, definitely they may knowingly or without knowingly suffered by this particular injection, because this particular injection is one of that is vulnerable. It will that is add some bad sector to our that is a web app, so that our that is a web application will that is act in a that is a different manner, so that we will not achieve, or that particular case will create some more problems to us. As well as that is a broken authentication, it is one of that is a vulnerability, allows a bad actor to gain control over that is account within a system or the entire system. So this will be happened by a particular company or a particular IT sector or some sort of that is a middle level firms. So they will frequently face this particular that is a broken authentication. And then sensitive data exposure, definitely already you know that is a data or that is most important for each and every organization. So sometimes the sensitive data Even the data, if you are saying a data, any particular company, then definitely this is sensitive data. The data is not that is ordinary data for everybody. Okay, so the sensitive data may be exposed by that is hackers or some that is intruders. So this is one of that is vulnerability which is listed by the OWASP, that is Open Web Application Security Project, and then XML external entities. It is a type of attack against that is application that parses the XML input and occurs when XML input containing a reference to an external entity, which is also one of that is a major vulnerability, which is we may, that is that is ordinary people may face this particular XML external entities. And then that is a broken access control, nothing but like that is a broken authentication. So a particular intruder or a particular that is a hacker may take over that is access control of a particular maybe a particular web application or a particular website or a particular server or whatever it may be. So this will happen because of the suppose if the system or if the particular web application or any application or any software has no control in order to avoid the hackers, definitely a particular that is a third man or a hacker, they will definitely access control of the entire system. And then the that is a security misconfiguration. It may happen, that is incorrect misconfiguration of a web application provides a bad actor with an easy way to exploit sensitive information. So suppose if you are not that is a configure a particular application or a particular software, because already we are connected with the internet almost. Okay, because now we are using that is from the handheld devices to that is a different set of devices. So almost all the devices connected with the outside world, nothing but through the that is internet. So suppose if we not configure a web application in a proper manner, definitely a bad actor, nothing but that's an intruder, or they can easily penetrate. They can easily that is exploit that is our sensitive information. And then cross-site scripting, that is a XSS. It is an attack. Nothing but a bad actor inject that is some malicious client-side script into that is our web application. This will happen. So these are some of the that is areas or vulnerable cases we may cross, or definitely after some that is after some near future, definitely we may cross, or we may cross, or we may cross. Okay, and then insecure that is a deserialization. Bad actor, that is the intruder, will exploit anything that interact with the web application from URL to serialized object to gain access. That is even though we are having that is our own website or our own that is URL, definitely if we suppose if we not to provide a safety mechanism using any technology, firstly that is our AI, definitely they will deserialization offer that is URL and other things. And then components with known that is using components with known vulnerability, that is instances such as a misuse software and update changes logs can serve as that is a big tip off for bad actors. So suppose that is a even that is the log file which you are maintaining in our system, because already you know that is a each and every electronic device almost connected with that is outside world. Definitely suppose if you are using any log, even the hackers using the log file in order to that is understand our that is a day-to-day transactions. Okay, and then insufficient logging monitoring, the lack of efficient logging, that is nothing but suppose if you are not to maintain the log files and the monitoring process, definitely it will increase the chances of web being that is a compromise. So these are the some of the that is a some of the that is a common web vulnerabilities which are listed by the Open Web Application Security Project. So we, that is the computer science that is a graduates or computer science experts, we have to provide that is a very good mechanism in order to avoid these vulnerability, because even though we are going to provide any that is a powerful mechanism, definitely you must know one thing, that is the bad actor may have another that is alternative mechanism in order to that is a break down our security and other things. But in order to provide any security mechanism, we have to that is a focus these 10 vulnerable factors which are proposed by the Open Web Application Security Project. That is one of the open source project. So in general, that is a categorization of that is a security task. What are the tasks we have to that is a maintain, or we have to focus? Security task can be divided into that is a 5 categories. One is called as that is a prediction, and then that is a prevention, detection, response, and then that is a monitoring. So these are some of that is a task we have to that is a focus in order to provide that is a mechanism of security for our that is a data items. Because already you know that is we are having that is listed only that is some list of malwares, but still every day, even every minute, frankly speaking, every minute there are that is a lot of that is malwares that is the hackers are creating. That is they are that is developing different type of or different malwares in order to that is access in order to that is access our data items, or in order to that is delete the data item, whatever it is. Because already you know that is almost we are almost every day that is almost 90% of the people in the world, definitely they are using all the electronic devices. So all the electronic which are connected to the internet, definitely there is a very bright scope for that is a bad actor in order to that is access the control of each and everybody's devices. So in order to provide that is a task, that is a secret task, we have to that is the basic task are nothing but that is a predict. That is we have to predict whether any that is a security flaws occur, and then we have to that is we have to provide the mechanism to prevent. Suppose if one happened, if one that is occurred, and then that is a detection, and then we have to that is give the solution for the response, and then monitoring. We have to that is because already you know that is a monitoring is nothing but that is a maintenance phase of the any software product. Okay, so we have to that is a monitor in order to avoid. Without monitoring, definitely it is very difficult to provide that is or to survey, or to that is recall, or to revoke whatever things which are damaged by our that is bad actors. So with these are the some called as that is a primary task of any that is a security mechanism. So, and then now let us pass on to that is AI. That is today's topic, that is AI techniques. AI, nothing but that is artificial intelligence, which are playing a vital role in numerous applications of the cyber security for early detection, prediction of different attacks, such as that is a spam classification, fraud detection, malware detection, phishing, dark web, nothing but that is a deep web sites, or the intrusion detections. So the AI is that is one of the most promising technique or area, or you may tell it is a domain which provides that is a very sound security techniques for that is our data items. Because already you know data or that is a valuable one for that is each and every organization, or for each and every business. Okay, so the protect the data is one of that is a most critical part of any that is a software development firms. So this AI technique, that is artificial technique, is going to provide the platform in order to that is a classify the spam, and then to detect that is a fraud, malware detection, phishing, as well as the dark web and intrusion detection. So this AI technique not only that is a classify the spam, which is going to next the remaining slide we are going to discuss how to that is a avoid, or that is a spam classification, nothing but whether the spam is that is a whether it is that is a the spam is here we are going to not only we are going to classify using the AI techniques, we are going to how to that is avoid, that is how to protect our system, maybe computer or maybe that is handheld devices like our cell phone from the that is a spam. And then fraud detection we are going to use, that is a powerful techniques in terms of that is in the case by case discussion we are going to discuss how to avoid or how to detect the fraud. Suppose it will happen in the computer network or in the computers or in the that is our mobile devices, as well as the that is a malware detection, phishing, and then dark web and intrusion detection. So these are some of the areas we are going to apply the AI techniques. So the basic definition, because the participants we may came across a definition of the AI. So even though for the purpose of this particular topic, I give that is a very basic definition. Nothing but it is nothing that is simulation of intelligent process by machines, especially that is a computer system. Nothing but to act as that is a machines as a human being or think or take decision or making decision based on the that is a human beings. Okay, the specific applications of AI which include the expert system, NLP, and then speech recognition, machine vision. So these are some of the that is application areas. In general, that is AI programming focuses on only that is three cognitive skills. So AI is not a that is a conventional, or it is a that is a so-called programming technique. So it is AI programming is nothing but it is a superset of programming techniques, because it focuses on the different cognitive skills like that is learning, reasoning, and self-correction. So learning, so definitely how we are that is learned in order to provide a solution for any problem. So for example, suppose we are asked to find the roots of a quadratic equation. Definitely, first of all, we have to learn what is that is a quadratic equation, what is the d value, that is what is the d is equal to b square minus 4ac, and then what are the roots, that is whether the roots are real, imaginary, or equal. So first of all, we have to that is a learn it, that is nothing but we have to that is a train, then only that is a we can take the decision. Like that, AI programming techniques, nothing but it is not a conventional programming technique. We have to provide that is a learning, that is we have to train the system, that is how we learned, how we that is understand the Ranjikuta second order or Simpson method or that is quadratic equation, how we learned. We have to that is train the system, as well as that is reasoning. So nothing but that is how this will happen. See, that is we have to provide a justification for each and every that is learning things. Okay, so without reasoning, definitely even as because now we are thinking about how to make the system, that is a computers as a that is a human beings, that is how to act as a how to make the computer as a human beings. Okay, so how we learn, we have to that is train the system, and then reasoning. So without the justification, it is not possible to understand, or it's not possible to take any that is a decision. So that is a we need that is a reasoning, that is a skill, as well as that is a self-correction, because we have a that is a beautiful intelligence, so that we can that is a correct ourselves. Suppose if we identify anything which is not right thing, definitely we can that is make the corrections. For example, for example, we can take that is a factorial of a given number. Suppose if you are going to write a program for the factorial of a given number, it will ask the value for the finding the factorial. Suppose if you give 3, then it will give that is 6. That is 1 into 2 into 3 equal to 6. But this is not the same case for the our that is already discussed example quadratic equation. For that, it is not possible to give that is some random values like 1 to 3 or 10, 20, 30, not like that. Okay, because we have to give that is a right input for that particular quadratic equation problem. So already we packed with these things even suppose if you take the best example, another example, suppose if you try to find the factorial of a factor for any given that is a negative numbers like -3 or -5 or -4, that is the factorial is that is 1. That is because we have some that is a basic dumb rule for the factorial. But that is if it is less than 1, then the factorial is 1. It is that is a constant. So these are things already we learned, so that we can put these conditions. Suppose if anybody asks what is the factorial of 3 means, we can give the value 6. Suppose if anybody asks what is the value of -3, then it is 1. Not it's not that is a minus into minus into minus, that is minus into minus plus plus into minus 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 6. It is not a -6 because there is a dumb rule. If you are going to find the factorial of any number which is less than 1, then it is 1. So these are called as that is some sort of that is a self corrections. So the A we have to provide that is a learning as well as that is a reasoning, and then that is a self corrections. And then that is we have that is a different types of A. So that is A, that is it is a reactive A. It may be that is a limited memory, or that is a theory of mind, that is self-aware. Okay, so we can say the types of A maybe that is a, it may be that is a weak A or strong A, that is a, or superpower A. That is a, almost we are using only that is a weak A, because the weak A is nothing that is a narrow down A. Even though that is we are using Google Assistant or Alexa or Siri, all are called under the, or all comes under the that is a weak A, because the Alexa or Siri or Google Assistant we are using for a particular purpose. Okay, so that they can be used for the particular purpose, so that we can call it as that is a weak A, that is a reactive A. That is it's good for simple classification and pattern recognitions. Okay, and then that's a strong A. Still we are not achieve this strong A, because a strong A that is it is nothing but that is a general purpose A. If you develop a particular A technology, then that particular A technology must how to that is a handle any type of problems on of this particular planet. Okay, but still we have no such that is a strong A, but we are having only that is a big A, but we slowly that is a moving, we are slowly that is a try to that is a transfer from the that is a big A to the that is a strong A, and then we can go further that is a very strong A. In general, that is we have that is a different types that is we have as per the that is a our industry we have that is a 4 different type of A. That is a reactive A. It is the reactive A, that is a basic A, nothing but that it's good for simple classification and pattern recognition task. Suppose if you want to classify or if you want to recognize a particular pattern, then we can use this particular that is a reactive A. And then that is a limited memory, that is can handle complex that is a limited memory. Here that is a we can use for that is a some mid-level that is a complex classification task, because already you know that is a we are living in the that is a data world. Okay, so here that is a we are facing or we are having that is enormous data items, because of that is a IoT, that is the Internet of Things. Okay, so each and every device which are connected to the internet, they generate that is a lot of data. Even we can take this that is a laptop where I am that is presenting my presentation. That is this laptop generating that is a lot of data, like that is that is from this laptop we can identify what is that is a battery, that is what is a battery capacity, and what is that is its power generation, what is its that is a heat generation, and then that is what is its other configurations. So these are the some that is a minimum data that is we can get it from the that is a laptop which is I am using to deliver my lecture. Okay, like that each and everybody has a that is a different type of that is a mobile devices, or maybe that is a laptop or computers. They are generating that is a more number of data items. But so in order to handle that is enormous data items, definitely we need some sort of middle level complex classification techniques. in order to, that is a retrieve a particular, or in order to extract a particular concept, definitely we need some middle level complex classification. That time, that is a we are going to use that is a limited memory. Yes, of course, now we are having that is only limited memory for the AI based systems, and then that is a theory of mind, because already we are talking about the, that is a yottabyte, zottabyte, like that. But in that is our mind, that is the human brain is not a, that is a not much bigger size. Okay, but using some, that is a association rule or whatever it is, because already that is the mechanism of our brain is that is an unanswerable one. That is still the people are trying to, that is explore the, that is working principles of our brain. Okay, so the theory of mind is nothing but that is able to understand human motives and the reasoning. That is how we are working, how we are that is taking decisions, how we are reasoning a particular task. So these are things with a limited memory. That is within a, that is a very short, it's not a limited memory, it's a very short memory or with a very minimum size. We are taking decision, we are, that's reasoning it, we are, that is storing lot of things. So this one is called as, that is a theory of mind type of A, and then that is a self-aware, that is human level intelligence that can bypass our intelligence too. Okay, so this is the next level, that is a fourth type of AI. Nothing but that is a super, we can say this, that is super AI. Here that is a like the human beings, how we are taking that is a decisions. Okay, how we are, that is a working. So these are the, that is a some types of AI. But you must know one thing, that is we are having at present only that is a reactive AI, and then that is a limited memory AI. We have know that is a still the research group of a computer science society is working for the theory of mind as well as that is a self-aware. And then what are the approaches for implementing that is a AI with respect to that is a cyber technology? So early days, that is we used, that is a knowledge base to formalize that is a knowledge. That is a in order to identify anything, we use some, that is a knowledge base. Okay, some databases in order to identify or in order to predict or detect whatever, for whatever process, we use only that is a knowledge base. But there are a lot of difficulties with that is using the only knowledge base to formalize the knowledge, because we have only that is a limited storage, limited bandwidth, and then because already told you, because of the IoT that is a concept, now we are having that is a enormous data. So in order to handle such a that is a enormous data, or even that is a big data, that is a with different varieties, structured, unstructured, semi-structured data items, definitely the knowledge base, that is the so-called database or the so-called knowledge base, will not support as in order to that is take any decisions using the that is that particular knowledge base. So for the to protect the data items in the internet, definitely we need some that is a powerful techniques, powerful methodologies, like that is a machine learning. That is here that is nothing but that is the second item is nothing but that's extract a model from that is a raw data. But in the first early state, that is we use that is a very big database. From the database, we that is using some that is a conditions, we just identify yes, some that is a thread occurred or not, or a thread is going to be occurred. So these are things we already that is a tested, but it is not a that is a very powerful technique. It is not a that is a convenient technique to the that is users, because now almost we are having that is enormous data items with that is heterogeneous data type also. So in order to meet out or in order to handle the heterogeneous data type, nothing but big data, we need that is another powerful model is called as that is a ML, that is a machine learning model, which is going to extract a model from a that is a raw data. So in general, that is a the participants of the seminar make that is because now we are in the third day. Definitely, you may you may understand these things in the your that is a previous sessions, like that is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and then the reinforcement learning. I just give that is some basic definition because they are most important for this topic. So supervised learning, so it requires that is a label input data. Without label input data, the supervised learning will not work. Usually used as that is a classification mechanism or a regression mechanism. So if you want to go for classify the thread, definitely the supervised learning, it will support. For example, that is malware detection is a typical binary classification. So we can use this particular supervised learning because most of the time, definitely the threats are known. Almost at present, almost 90% of the threats are that is known threats. So that we can go for that is supervised learning. It is that is because it is need only that is a simple procedure. It will not require that is a complicated procedure. So if you want to protect your system from the known threat, then we can go for that is supervised learning. And the unsupervised learning, the data input of that is unlabeled. That is, it is labeled, that is unlabeled. Often used that is a clustered data, reduced dimensionality or estimate density. So suppose if you want to work with some that is a fuzzy data item, that is if you want to work with some that is a fuzzy thread, whether it is a thread or not, or it is a serious or not, or it is a lightweight, or that is it will not create any damages, or it will not steal any data items. So suppose if you are not aware of that is suppose if you are not come to any conclusion, that is a concrete conclusion, then we can go for supervised unsupervised learning. And then reinforcement learning, it is a combination of both, that is based on rewarding action of a smart agent. Using some smart agent, we are going to use some that is a rewarding concept. It can be considered as a fusion of supervised as well as unsupervised. It can be that is a suitable for that is a long-term feedback. Suppose if you want to suppose if a particular thread is not comes under any that is known or unknown, but the particular developer or the particular that is people of a particular organization, they suspect it may be threat, or it may be that is an attack, or it may be that is a malware. Definitely we can go for this particular that is a reinforcement learning. It is it's also coming up that is a concept in our field. And then according to that is the classification of AI technology, that is we have that is different types, like that is a computer vision, machine learning, NLP, sound recognition, expert system, generative AI, and then the robotics. For our that is a topic that is a cyber technology, we are going to more frequently use that is a machine learning as well as that is a NLP, and that is expert system. We are not going to focus on that is robotics, or sometimes we are going to use that is a computer vision in order to analyze that is images or any that is videos. Suppose if the video is sent by that is a bad actor, that is nothing but a hacker, definitely that time we may use that is some sort of computer vision. But most of the time, for secure the data in the internet, we are going to use the design. At present, that is machine learning, NLP, as well as that is expert systems. So AI based that is cyber security. So in general, that is most of the time that is we are going to take that is machine learning. That is the traditional machine learning schemes. So in order to that is protect the data in the cyber attacks or from the cyber attacks, definitely the machine learning is that is one of the most promising technique in order to avoid, in order to detect, or in order to predict, or in order to provide or maintain the security for the that is data items which are in the that is internet. So and in general, the ML which has that is 4 major steps. So that is we are going to let's say extract the features. So because already each and every attack or each and every that is a malware has that is a different that is a parameters. So we have to that is a, first of all try to extract what are the that is a common parameters or that is a common features, and then that is a we have to select that is a appropriate AML, that is a machine learning algorithm, because we have that is a very powerful algorithms. Okay, so we have to choose, that is we have to that is select appropriate ML algorithm for our that is a activities, and then the train the model select the model which is which provides the best performance. So the next third step is that is a we have to that is a train the model, and then after that we have that is a select the model which is more comfortable or which is one of that is a best performer, and then classify predict unknown data using that is a trained model. After that is a data extraction, that is we have to train the model using that is a some extracted features, and then we have to choose the best model, and then we have to that is employ the model in order to that is a predict or classify or detect the unknown data using that is a trained model. So this is that is a things we are going to follow during the protection of that is the data which is in that is a internet. So in general, that is a network security, that is a fast rate detection, and then phishing detection, as well as that is a behavioral analytics. So these are network security, secure authentication, as well as preventing online frauds. So behavioral analytics is one of that is a most important that is an aspect in order to that is a identify the that is a some sort of that is a malwares. So behavioral nothing but we have to that is identify that is a nature. Okay, suppose you sometimes the hacker may be within the organization also. Okay, so that time they for some purpose they may steal the data items. At that time that is a we have to that is a identify the particular people who are within the company by means of using that is a behavioral analytics. And then we have that is a different types of machine learning algorithms. So in order to protect the data items in the that is internet, we have that is a very powerful, most of them are that is a most promising technique in order to protect our that is a data items. So for example, that is a we may have that is a super already we have this what is a supervised learning and unsupervised learning, and then under the unsupervised learning we are having that is a clustering, nothing but that is using the recommender system or targeted marketing or customer segmentation. Likewise that is if it is a known, if that is attack or if the bad actress that is a known, then we can go for that is a supervised learning. Here that is we can have that is a different techniques like that is a regression or that is a classification for the reinforcement learning. So already today that is it is a next level of technique in order to make the that is a system as that is a super A, nothing but that is a using that is a powerful A, nothing but almost in order to make the machine to act as that is a human brains. So here there is a reinforcement learning, that is a we have to provide that is a skill acquisition, and then the learning task, real-time decisions, and then robot navigation, and then and also that is a gaming. These are comes under that is a reinforcement learning. So in general, that is already we have discussed more things about the what are the different techniques. So here that is I just narrow down what are the possible techniques, because already we have discussed about that is supervisor and unsupervisor as well as reinforcement learning, and then what are the techniques at present. At present the people are using the ML techniques in order to provide a safeguard for that is a data in the that is internet. That is a best techniques are called as that is a support vector machine, decision tree, K nearest neighbor, random forest, neighbors, and that is artificial neural network, and then recurrent neural network, and then CNN, BPN, and then automatic, that is a reinforcement learning. So these are some of that is a powerful techniques. Almost at present we are using in order to protect our data from the that is a hackers, that is from the that is a bad actors. So the common methods in general, that's the common methods which are using that is a AI techniques. So regression, nothing but that is a prediction. It is a task of predicting the next value based on that is a previous value. So regression, it is one of that is a basic technique, and we can use this particular basic technique in order to that is a predict what's the next value. Suppose if you are having a sequence that is a 10, 20, 30, and then what comes after that is definitely we can have that is already we packed with this, that is a common techniques. Suppose if it is a first number is 10, second number is 20, third number is 30, and then what is the fourth number? Definitely we can tell it is 40. Okay, so this is that is a thing already we packed with it. So what's the mechanism behind to tell what is the fourth number is nothing but that is a regression, nothing but that is using the based on that is a prediction. Here we are going to that is a predict that is what is the next value based on the previous value. Okay, so we can use this particular regression technique in order to that is identify the that is threads using the some more that is relevant threads. Okay, and then the classification, nothing but a task of separating things into that is different categories. That is another method. That's it is a general method which is available under the that is a AI. And then the clustering, which is similar to that is a classification, but the classes are unknown. In the case of classification, that is a classes are known, but here that is a classes are unknown. So grouping things by there that is a similarity. Based on the similarity, we can grouping. It is also similar to classification, but only thing the classes are unknown. The grouping, that is a classification. By there, that is a similarity, but in the classification, that is a we can straight away classify the things because it is a that is a they are known. And then the association rule mining, that is association rule mining, or that is a recommendation task of recommending something based on the that is a previous experience. So almost we are using that is a association rule mining, because whenever we want to that is a recall anything, definitely we are using this particular technique knowingly or without knowingly. Suppose if the asked to what is the Ohm's law, or you will suppose we are asked to define Boyle's law or Ohm's law, definitely we are going to use this particular association rule mining, nothing but that is a the Ohm's law or the Boyle's law comes under in which subject, whether it comes under Tamil, English, physics, chemistry, mathematics, or biology, botany, zoology. So we got first that is there, make some that is association among, because definitely the Boyle's law we studied only in the schools. Okay, during the school education we studied the Boyle's law or Ohm's law, whatever it is. Okay. But during that is our schooling, definitely we have some that is a standard subjects, Tamil, English, that is a languages, mathematics, chemistry, physics, chemistry, biology, like that, history or civics, like that. So first of all, we got that is identify under which subject or which is course this particular Boyle's law comes under. So this one is called as this association rule mining. So definitely which comes under that is a physics. Okay, so if this is a case, then we have to try to make one more association in which standard we have studied it, whether it is in the 6th or 7th or 8th or not below, definitely not below 5th standard. We will not the syllabus for below 5th standard not having such a loss. Okay, so definitely after 6th only. So in which that standard we studied 6th, 7th, 8th or 9th. So we got that is a narrow down our search. Nothing but this one is called as a association rule mining. So definitely we can come to conclusion that is yes, it is a physics. We studied in the 8th standard, and then the Boyle's or Ohm's law comes in which portion of the physics, because in physics we got that is a different that is a segments. Like that is electricity, that is electromechanical or electricity or some sort of electronics, and then some mechanical things. So we have to try to that is a narrow down this Boyle's or Ohm's law comes under in which concept, whether that is a mechanical concepts or that is a electrical or electronics, or somehow that is a motion concept like that. So definitely it comes under the electrical. So this is a mechanism we are using actually, because now we are almost that is studied this particular Boyle's law more than 10 years back. So even though we can recall it by means of using that is the association rule learning, nothing but that is a task of recommending something based on the previous experience. So we are having that is our brain which maintained that is a previous experience without any difficulties. So it is our that is the mechanism of our brain. It will get that is a whatever stored in our brain. It will that is a take it further that is a in order to take any decisions. Okay, and then the dimensionality reduction or generalization. It is a task of searching common and important, most important features in that is a multiple examples. So basically, so now we are having a that is a enormous data items, and also that is a different heterogeneous domains, heterogeneous applications. So definitely we need this particular method in order to that is a understand or search or taking any decisions across that is a multiple domains. And the generative models, it is a task of creating something based on that is a previous knowledge of that is a distribution. So these are some that is a common methods where we are using that is AI. And then that's some generalized, that's a narrow down methods for that is a cyber security. Even though we have that is a, I listed out that is a more than that is a 6, that is a almost 6. These are some that is a common methods which are available for different purposes. Okay, because now we are in the that is a data world. Definitely, in order to make or in order to that is analyze the data items, definitely we need that is a different techniques, methods of that is a like it may be recursion, classification, clustering, association rule, or dimensionality reduction, or generative models. So these are some common methods for common purposes. Okay. But if you want to provide that is a security for the data items which are in the that is a internet, then we are having that is a some different that is out of 6 based on that is a experts suggestion. We are having only that is a 3 different methodology in order to provide that is a security for the data item which are in the internet. That is a regression. It can be applied. So in general, that is in the first I think the early slides of our today's presentation, we discussed about that is a fraud detection is one of that is a area we have to that is identify that is we have to detect the fraud. So the regression, if you want to that is detect the fraud, then you can choose this particular that is a regression. The features, example, that is a total number of suspicious transaction location, such things we are going to take in order to identify whether that is a threat occurred or not. So to determine a probability of that is a fraudulent action. Okay. So in order to determine the fraudulent actions, definitely the regression is that is a most promising method. So under the regression we are having that is a different type, different that is a categorization of that is a regression. We have that is a different like that is a that is logic regression, simple regression like that. So depends upon the need. Suppose if you want to detect the fraud, so regression is that is a one of the that is a most promising technique or method. Okay, and then the classification for spam filter, separating spams from other messages can serve as that is an example. So in order to classify the spam for some purpose, okay, the spam filters are we can use it. We can use the classification techniques in order to filter the spam. The spam filters are probably the first ML approach applied to the cyber security task. We can take that is our Gmail account. Already they are having that is a spam filter using the machine learning techniques. If any message start with that is a you won, $1 million, or we are in trouble. Like that message is definitely that is we will not expect from our, that is from our boss or from our relatives or from our that is a friend circle. So we must be very much thankful to the Google, because already they are using the spam filter in order to filter the spam messages. So they use the classification technique for filtering the that is a spam. So suppose if the Gmail server find any mail start with you own, definitely it will push that particular mail to the that is a spam directory, because definitely it may be because it start with you own, or we are in trouble, or I want to bring I want to that is say something regarding like that, some that is a fussy words. Definitely it will that is the spam filter mechanism which is used by the Google. It will just push such type of messages, that is a message start or a message which contains that particular that is words or phrases. It will push that particular message to the that is a spam directory. And then association rule mining for that is a incident response. Definitely we need this particular that is a association rule mining, because already I told you that is a association rule mining which is based on the that is a previous experience. So where, because we are having that is, even though suppose if you want to develop a that is a cyber security algorithm, that is a algorithm in order to protect the data, definitely we may have that is a different experiences. Okay, because already I listed some that is a different famous malwares. So each and every malware has its own parameters, has its own that is a methodology. So already they are called as that is a known malware. So if you understand, if you study the known malwares, that is a action, its parameters, we can that is a identify, or we can that is a protect our system from the that is a known malware. And also based on the previous experience, that is based on that is a known malware, we can provide that is a very good mechanism in order to that is identify the new threat also. So that here we are going to use that is a association rule mining under the case by case discussion. So our topic is that is what are the techniques we can use for protecting the data. Nothing but that is how to provide that is techniques, or what are techniques available for the cyber security domain. Okay, so for case by cases, we can that is after that is this particular slide we are going to discuss how to protect the data in computer network or mobile devices or some other that is electronic devices. Okay, the first one that is a spam detection on that is a computer network. So spam is nothing but that is it is irrelevant or unwanted email. It will that is consume not only bandwidth, that is it will consume that is storage, and also that is internet of time of internet users, and it will decreases that is efficiency of the system network, and also it will consume that is a users effort, users time, and other things. So the spam is not a that is a one of that is a incorrigible, or it is not a that is a we have to that is a try to avoid it. So nowadays more than 85% received mails or messages or comes under the that is spam. It is that is a latest study which is stated that okay, and then emails, moreover emails and the web services search engines are the yearly victims for the that is a spam attackers. So or we can say this is that is a gateway, the email or the search engine. Suppose if you are going to search anything, so definitely there that is a gateway for the that is a intruder or that is a attackers. Okay, so we have to give much more importance for that is a spam detection. So what are the techniques or methods which are available at present for detect spam on the, that is emails. So in general, that is early days we used that is a signature based technique. It is that is a traditional spam filtering technique used to identify the malicious behavior by the, that is a signature. But here that is this particular signature based technique. So already you know it is a conventional or traditional technique, but this one is not that is a more powerful at present, because almost all the, that is bad actors or intruders or that is attackers, they clearly understood what is that is a signature based technique and what is the weakness of the signature based techniques. So there is a high dimensionality of feature space, because the email and document contains hundreds to thousands of that is words. That is we have that is a very good scope in order to avoid the spam based on the that is a dimensionality reduction, that is using the features. Okay, because already you know that is a particular email which may have minimum hundreds to thousands of words. So based on the words, like that is say you own that is a car, or you own that is a $1 million. So definitely these are the, definitely nobody will give 1 million euro to anybody. Okay, but this is that is one of that is a trapping words in order to that is attract the that is a users. So we have that is a different words. So different that is a words which will try to that is a trap the that is ordinary users. So in order to provide the safeguard for the ordinary users, we have to use that is a feature selection. So already we discussed about the what are the machine learning techniques. The feature selection is one of that is a technique. We can use a feature selection. It can significantly improve the accuracy and the applicability of the learning and the classification process. Why that is the experts insisted regarding to go for the feature selection for handling the spam is nothing but because of a particular spam message, that is the email, because now we are talking about the how to detect or how to protect or how to that is avoid the spam on the emails. Okay, so the email has that is some junk messages. So in order to avoid the junk messages, we have to that is in order to that is protect our system or our mobile or our that is electronic devices from the spam, we can use a feature selection. The feature selection is that is the most promising technique in order to avoid the spam. And also we can use that is a J48 base net and the SVM we can use for detection of that is a spam mails. So in order to identify the spam, because already you may have the knowledge about that is a SVM based network as well as that is a J48, and also there is a feature extraction. These are the possible or that is a promising techniques in order to identify or avoid or detect that there is a spam on the emails. Because the spam, so already we have discussed the demerits of the spam, nothing but it will consume not only network bandwidth, it will consume the storage as well as our valuable time also. So in order to, because the spam is one of that is a major that is a issue which is encountered by the all the that is a internet users. So feature selection, J48, BaseNet and SVM are the that is a most promising technique in order to that is a detect that is a spam emails. And then that is next one is that is a what are the techniques, methods for that is a spam on the mails? That is a suppose spam on the blog, because the spam not only on the email, that is spam maybe on the blog or on the Twitter or on the images or on the that is a videos. Suppose if the spam on the blog, so logistic regression we can use to detect that is a blog spam on that is data set gathered from that is social media comments. So the spam not only you will not find in the Gmail, you can find in the blog also. So if the spam on the blog or random forest, and that is a maybe techniques. And then suppose if you find a sperm on the images, then we are having that is a various pattern recognition and the computer vision techniques to detect the image based sperm. So already I told you that is a AI which consists of ML, NLP, that is robotics, that is and also that is a computer vision also. So if you want to detect a particular image, definitely we can use that is a computer vision in order to identify whether it is a malware or not, or that is it is a spam or not. Okay, so the spam may be on the blog, or maybe on the Twitter, or maybe on the images, or maybe on the that is a videos also. So for in order to detect spam blogs, SP blogs, and the video spams, the SVM, that is a supported vector machine, is that is a commonly used ML technique to detect spam on the that is a blogs. SVM is the most promising technique in order to identify or in order to detect the spam on the that is a videos. Okay, so other techniques we can use, that is a dictionary or Firefly, and that is a base classifier. These are some of that is a some more techniques or some techniques and the methods in order to identify the spam on the that's a blog, Twitter, email, or images under the that is a videos. So we have that is email corpus, and then the incoming email will be that is a we are going to using any pre-processing technique, we are going to pre-process it, and then we are going to extract the features, and then the so after extracting the feature, we have to make the model. That is nothing but that is a we have to that is a train the model, because already told you, if you want to solve a Simpson 1/3 rule, then you must be trained for the Simpson 1/3 rule. That is what is the formula for the Simpson 1/3 rule, and what are the possible input you can give, and then how much iteration you have to that is a run the particular Simpson 1/3 rule, and what are the possible that is a value of that is what is the range of values. So these are things we have to get it. Then only we can that is solve the that is then only we can apply the Simpson 1/3 rule. So this one is called as that is a training phase like that. That is after extracting the feature, we have to, and the machine after that then we have that is a construct the machine learning model. That is a different model, they are narrowed down, or we check here that is a appropriate machine learning model for our that is a detecting the spam on the email, and then we may use that is a neural network classifier, and then the classification result that is a spam or that is a not a spam. So this is that is a working principles of the all the techniques or all the methods which we have discussed so far. And then the next case is nothing but that is a another one more that is a spam is nothing but that is a AI for that is a good words. This is one of that is a you may find more frequently, that is a good word attack. Sometimes the particular spam may use some that is a good words, that is a like that is a how are you, or we are expecting your concern, like that. Some that is using some good words. Suppose if you open that particular link or that particular mail, then automatically the that is a intruder will enter your that is a system. So this one is called as it's a good word attack. So in order to avoid the good word attack, we may use that is a multiple instance learning techniques. So here that is a we are going to divide the email text into that is a bag of multiple segments, and then we are going to consider each segment in a bag as a that is a separate instance, and they claim that the technique for multiple instances is more robust, and then the single instance against good word attacks. So here that is a we are going to that is a because already you know that is a the mail which contains that is a heterogeneous words. Okay, so the good word attack is nothing but that is a that particular mail which contains that is a some that is a good words, not any that is a any other words. That is, it will almost that particular mail maybe from our, that is a well wishes, like our relatives or our friends, like that. So that in order to avoid, in order to protect this type of attack, we can use that is a multiple instance learning. So for that multiple instance learning, we have to, that is take we have to, that is divide the entire email text into, that is a bag of multiple segments, and then we have to, that is classify each and every bag of segments in order to identify, or in order to, that is narrow down which one is a good mail or not. And the next one is called, say, that is how to, that is protect our mobile devices. That is a spam detection on that is a mobile devices. So here we are going, here also we are going to use, that is ML techniques. They are playing, that is a vital role in order to detect and identify the spam on mobile devices, such as spams in SMS, calls, that is spam calls, or email app, and some data on mobile images and videos. Here, that is a, we may definitely in the mobile, using the mobile device, we may definitely receive some, that is spam calls or spam messages, or spam data, or spam videos, spam images. So in order to, that is protect our mobile devices from this spam detection, we need some different techniques, because in the previous slide we have discussed about how to protect the spam messages on the, that is a blog or Twitter or any, that is a social media with respect to only the systems. But here this particular slide is going to discuss you regarding the how to detect the spam on the, that is mobile devices. So in the mobile devices also, that is a we may have, that is a spam on the, that is a SMS. That is a we may find some, that is a spam SMS. For a spam SMS filtration, we can use, that is a Bayesian learning methods. So we that is a we can, that is a we can apply, that is a we can apply that is a Bayesian learning method in order to, that is identify the, that is a spam SMS. And also, that is a we can have, that is a we can use, that is a NB or KNN SVM may be used for the detection of the, that is a unwanted SMS with respect to the, that is a mobile devices. And then we may receive some, and then that is the techniques and methods for, that is a intrusion detection on the, that is a computer networks. So we can use, that is a AI or the ML techniques for the, that is a DOS attack. For in order to, that is detect the DOS attack, we can use, that is a dysentery, neural network, Bayes, and the SVM, or the, that is a most powerful techniques in order to identify the DOS, that is a denial of service attacks. And then for a probe attack, we can use, that is an Bayes or a fuzzy association, dysentery, neural network, and the SVM. We can apply, that is a, we can, that is a use these techniques to detect the, that is a probe attack, as well as, that is a remote to local attacks. Suppose if you want to, that is a detect that is a remote to local attack, then we can, that is a use the neural network, that is a neural network or SVM, and there is an Bayes. Okay, and then that is a used to, that is remote attacks, we can use, that is a SVM, dysentery, NB, or fuzzy association. So these are the that is a techniques, or that is a methods, that is a, we can, that is a detect, that is a intrusion. So whether the intruder, that is a occurred in the our, that is a computer network, or a hackers entered in our computer network, then we can use that is a different ML techniques, like for if you want to identify, if you want to detect the device, these are, that's a dysentery, neural network, and other things. So for probe network, you can use, that is SVM or neural network or dysentery. And then for ML and RTL attacks, we can use, that is Bayes, SVM, and a neural network. And for U2R, that is used to remote attacks, we can use SVM, and then dysentery, and then the NB. So these are the, that is the techniques we can, that is use, or we can apply in order to identify or in order that is a detect the attack which are going to be occur in our that is a computer network. So these are called as a that is a case by case discussion. Okay, with and then that is a and also in the computer network we are going to frequently face this particular that is a host based attack for in order to identify, because the attackers they may take or the attackers may attack either server or host. If it is server, we can go for that is a previous techniques. If it is attack is going to be on the that is a host, then we can use that is a rule based technique like ANN or fuzzy association rule or different statistical methods in order to that is a identify that is a host based attack. And then for network based attack, we can use that is a decision tree. That is the best technique among all the that is ML methods. We can use that is a decision tree for the network in order to identify that it is a network based attacks. So these are the things called as that is a case by case discussion. So based on the that is a title, that is almost we have discussed about the, because here that is a the ultimate aim of this presentation is what are the techniques we can use in order to that is protect, or in order to that is detect, or in order to that is retrieve our data items from the attackers. So these are some that is possible techniques, because almost already you know. It is not at present. It is not possible to go for that is a single technique. We have to go for that is a hybrid technique. That is a combination of the more number of techniques. Because if you are going to take any mechanism, if you are going to develop any that is a powerful mechanism, using any machine learning techniques, definitely the attackers. We must have to not underestimate the attackers' knowledge. Definitely, they may be super set of us. Okay, they may be superior, or they may have that is a very beautiful, very good knowledge regarding that is where they will try to identify. They will try to that is find that is a loop of our that is a technology. So, in order to provide the best technique or the best method to protect our data items from the hackers, we must have to go for that is a hybrid techniques, using that is a more than one technique, or that is a different technique in order to that is protect our data items. The single technique definitely at present not possible to protect our that is data items. So these are things I want to bring that is a participant knowledge. You have to that is equip yourself with these techniques, so that is you can provide that is a very good environment for the that is end users, because the end users are always depends on the that is a computer science technologist. With these things, I want to that is wind up my session. If you have any that is a doubt, I think this is a right time to clarify your doubt regarding the presentation. Now I request to the participants, you may clarify your doubts. If you have any doubt now, I think this is the right time to clarify your doubts.